Hi, this is Edward Troxel. Welcome to another tutorial. In this script, we had a special request where they wanted to match the project settings with a pan crop setting. So let's take a quick look at a project and see what it is exactly that we're wanting to change. Here we have an event on the timeline, and you can see that the pan crop is set to 1500 by 1080, where if we look at our project settings, they are set to 1920 by 1080. So we want the script to automatically be able to take this event and change this to match this. So it might not be quite as straightforward as it looks like it could be, because some of the information isn't directly available. We have to calculate the information. So let's see how we would do that using a script. Here's the script we're going to use, and we're going to go for each track, my track and myvegas.project.tracks. If the track is video, once again, we don't need to look at any audio tracks because audio doesn't have video height and width. And then we're going to look for each track event on that track. Then if the event is selected, this is the one we want to use, then we convert that event to a video event, which we just called VEVNT. And now we have to look at the pan crop keyframes. So the pan crop keyframe is a video motion keyframe, which we just called KF, and we're going to get this from video event.videomotion.keyframes, and we're going to get the first keyframe, which will be keyframe number 0. Remember, keyframes are always 0 based. Now here's where the tricky part comes in. Even when you have the keyframe, you don't have a width and height. If we come in here and look, KF dot, notice we have a bottom left, a bottom right, a bounds, a center, and so forth, but there is no H entry, there is no height. We do have a position, a rotation, a smoothness, top left, top right, but we have no width either. So we have to calculate the height and width using the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right entries. So to get the width, since the keyframe top left.x is a float, I'm going to use a float variable here, and to get the width, I'm going to take math.absolute value, and the reason for doing this is this way it doesn't matter which number is bigger, which number is larger. When I subtract, it's going to get the positive answer no matter which direction I add or subtract. And so we get the kf.topleft.x minus the kf.topright.x. So we want the left side x minus the right side x. Once again, I could have said top right.x minus top left.x. In this case, it really makes no difference because I'm taking the absolute value. So if it comes out negative, it's going to turn it to positive anyway. Then I'm going to get the height. Once again, we're going to do the absolute value. And in this case, I want the y value. And I'm going to use a top and a bottom. So I just took top left.y minus bottom left.y, and that will get me the height. In myvegas.project.video, the dot width is an integer and the dot height is an integer. So I'm setting my project video width, and I'm going to convert this to an integer from width. So I'm converting the float width to an integer. And then I have myvegas.project.video.height, converting to an integer the height value. So that will get the project settings set to match this width and height. So let's check it out. So this is the event that's selected. And now when we open the settings, we can see that the width is 1500, the height is 1080, and so that matches our 1500 and 1080 that we have in the pan crop settings. So that shows you how we can take the pan crop settings and then convert the sizes of the pan crop window, the width and the height, and make the project match that same width and height. Hope you find this tutorial useful. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.